My name is Jeff Breglio, and I'm from REI Master You, your premier online real estate investing education source. I'm also a real estate investor, real estate attorney, hard money lender, escrow officer, real estate agent, etc. I've been in the business for over 20 years and have seen over 4,000 real estate transactions.
Wow, that's a lot of experience.
It's a lot of experience.
Which is why I have you on my power team.
Thank you. And why you're on my power team.
Yes. So I'm Yoshi Shiraki, and I'm part of Utah Home Sweet Home, where we fix and flip properties, buy rental properties. We assist clients in doing the same as well. We work with a lot of investors and help people find these investments that will help them set up a nice retirement.
Yeah, and you've done coaching all over the country.
That's true. I am a public speaker.
Outside the country, too.
Yes.
You're an international real estate investing coach.
That's right.
How's that market in Canada?
Yeah, it's different. So, yes, I forgot to mention that. A public speaker all throughout the United States and even Canada.
And on television and on the radio.
Yep, that's right. I have my own radio show on K-Talk Radio. Wow, I forgot a lot about myself.
I know. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to remind you.
Thank you. Well, wonderful. Well, we are excited because we are bringing the audience something, to my knowledge, that has never been done before. There's a lot of people who educate on flips, but you hear about the good stuff, typically maybe a couple failures along the way, but you don't hear the details.
Right.
Which is why we call this deals A to Z.
Right.
Because we're literally
acquisition to disposition.
Yep, and everything in between.
Yep.
So today you and I are going to go over a property that you and I have done together, and then we're going to interview a bunch of other investors as well.
Yeah. And we've got 8 set up for this first round of vlog podcasts.
Yes.
The first 8 are on single family residence flips.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll do other blocks where we do multifamily, we'll do long-term hold, we'll do creative financing. But for this first set of 8 videos, will be 8 single family residence flips.
Love it.
From how they bought it, how they found it, how they financed it, to some of the key issues in rehabbing and what issues they faced and how they overcame them.
Yep.
And then how they sold it and their marketing strategies and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And we'll go deals A to Z.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I love it. And I think the listeners are going to get, and the watchers are going to get so much value, especially the younger investors that haven't done any flips or just a couple. They get to hear all. I mean, because there's a
we have a wide range of investors coming on the show. Some are super new.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic because new investors actually learn more than the experienced ones.
Right.
You can bring on the pros all the time, and they knock stuff out of the park so efficiently because they're so good at it. They don't necessarily run into a lot of problems.
Right.
They've learned how to avoid those at the beginning.
Yes.
But the newbies are the ones that run into the problems, and those are the best learning experiences.
I agree.
So.
Wonderful. All right.
Cool.
Well, if we could dive into this, we have a project that we did here in the Salt Lake City area, the Rose Park area, for those who know the Salt Lake area.
Yeah, so the Rose Park area, it's an up-and-coming area.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the lowest priced homes area in Salt Lake City, which is the capital of Utah. So the city itself has quite a big range of properties, some $1 million properties down to $100,000 properties.
Yeah.
This neighborhood would be more starter home property area.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, so let's dive into this. How did this deal?
This deal came to us
Yeah.
through an associate of mine.
Okay.
Who found it through general marketing. He had done some postcards.
Yeah.
So postcard mailers.
Wonderful.
Got a few phone calls, found this particular seller, and negotiated a contract with the sellers through direct mail marketing, which is how he got it. And then he basically wholesaled it to us. It was kind of a variation of a wholesale deal.
Yep.
He was a new investor, didn't know what he was doing, but had it under contract. So brought it to me, and I said, hey, that's great. And we paid him $10,000 for essentially as a wholesale fee.
Yep.
And he kind of watched us go through the flip process beginning to end. So we got some education out of it as well.
Yeah. And what was so smart about what we basically collaborated was that if he was willing to, for you new investors out there, if he was willing to receive that $10,000 after we sold it, we would allow him to actually be part of every decision, every going through the process. So he actually was able to do his very first flip, get his hands dirty as far as making calls, talking to contractors, learning the orchestrating of all of that. So that was really smart of him.
Yeah, and smart of us, because we delayed the wholesale fee until the end. So
Yes.
we didn't have to finance it.
Exactly.
So it saved us money that way. Now, a lot of wholesalers are not going to take their assignment fee post-flip. That's
Right.
probably not going to happen.
Right.
But you might find somebody who's willing to pass a deal to you and who wants that experience.
Yep.
And because you're going to be involved during the entire project, they'll take their wholesale fee at the end.
Exactly. And with him, he wanted to learn how to fix and flip.
Yeah. So it was a win-win.
Yeah, it was absolutely
Perfect.
win-win. Okay, so what was attractive about this property?
The purchase price.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he initially got it under contract for about $60,000.
Yes.
And at $60,000, good grief, I'll buy just about anything.
Yes. In the Salt Lake area for sure.
Yes, especially in Salt Lake. Salt Lake is a boom town.
Yeah.
A lot of population growth. So our real estate market's really, really strong.
Yep.
And this was a few years ago as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, adjust for some inflation. It was a few years ago. So we had it under contract about $60,000, but that's not what we actually paid for it.
Right.
We got a huge, steep discount. How did we get that?
So Ken, we talked to him. We asked him basically, did he test for methamphetamine, right?
Yeah,
And
we did. Yeah, meth test.
yeah, meth test, and he hadn't. So he I'll let you tell the story, but he
Yeah, did our due diligence.
Yeah, he had to go test the house for meth, which was an interesting way he did it.
Yeah, so we asked if he had tested for meth. He hadn't, and that's a great technique to lower the price. So you're in your due diligence phase, you're getting a specialist, and generally on these kind of projects, you don't get the opportunity, or at least not a lot of time, to do a lot of testing and inspections, right?
Yeah.
We buy things as is. We don't really care.
Right.
All we look is the price, the numbers. We know we can get in and do it. But we knew the seller was selling because her son lived in the house with his girlfriend.
Yep.
They were meth heads.
Yep.
The mom knew that.
And we'd have to remediate for that. So
And we knew we were going to have to remediate something because they at least were users.
Right.
And so Ken, the friend that brought me the deal, posed as a Domino's or pizza delivery guy with a pizza in his hand, knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I'm here to deliver your pizza." And the guy was like, "We didn't order any pizza or anything." He's like, "Oh no, that's maybe I'm in the wrong place. Do you mind if I come in a second and put the pizza down so I can call my boss to see where I'm supposed to deliver the pizza?" And the guy said, "Fine." So he was in, and while he was pretending to call the boss, he was swabbing around the kitchen, and the tenant didn't notice.
Right.
And then he's like, "Hey, we totally screwed up. You have the pizza, it's yours. I got to get back to pick up the next round."
Yep.
And that was it. And he left, and then we had the testing completed, and it tested positive for meth. So we went back to the seller and said, "Hey, it's going to be a big deal. It's tested positive for meth." But she, of course, believed she knew her son was a user.
Yeah.
And that made her really, really nervous. And then we got it for $30,000.
Yeah.
So another $30,000 off the purchase price
Exactly.
because of the meth test.
Yes, and just to be clear, when you say we, really you and I were not affiliated yet.
Technically, because we hadn't bought the house yet.
Right. Ken was the only one under contract, not us.
The initial investor, the initial newbie investor who had found the deal and wanted it under contract.
And so just to be clear, what happened was when Ken got the results of the meth test being positive, he knew he had to go back and renegotiate. He actually didn't call us to ask us what I remember him vividly telling me this. He goes, "I didn't even want to bother you guys, so I didn't call to see what I should lower it. So I just went back and figured, well, $30,000 is probably going to be good."
Right.
So he was the best, because I would have only said, start at 10.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like 5 or 6 to remediate,
Yeah.
and maybe we get an extra 4 in there. Well, if he would have called me and asked me,
I know.
it would have been a worse.
That's right. We've got like $10,000 off.
Exactly.
Because he didn't know how much it cost to remediate.
Yes.
Then, he took $30,000 off, and she accepted it.
And she accepted it. And then when he came back to us, he said, "Hey guys, just so you know, the new price is 30." And we were like, "Really?"
Done.
Yeah. Okay. We'll for sure buy it.
Yes.
We'll for sure buy it. Well, yes. Please wholesale it to us. We'll, you can be part of the project. And it was a total, so he was like the perfect, not knowing meth remediation costs, he was the perfect person to negotiate that.
Again, newbie mistakes can often be beneficial.
Yeah.
In this case, it was.
Exactly. So that was really that's probably one of my favorite lockup under contract stories I've ever heard. Simply because he just didn't know better.
He didn't know better. Yeah, and he posed as a pizza delivery guy
and he
to get the test done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Obviously, the price was attractive as far as the purchase price. Then, what was the first impression, though, on the property? We discussed how Rose Park was, it's probably the lowest value in the Salt Lake County, but was there any impression that you're like, oh, is this Rose Park, should we do it, should we not do it?
Yeah, I mean, the neighborhood itself is a gentrification neighborhood. It's turning over.
Yeah.
There are some, these were meth heads living there. We had problems with homeless.
Yeah.
Homelessness and homeless people kind of coming in.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a rougher neighborhood. The neighborhood just to the north, just a few blocks, had already kind of been turned over, and the prices were really accelerating in the neighborhood to the north.
Yep.
The neighborhood to the south was still pretty bad. So this was kind of the middle section. We took a long look at that.
Right.
Because when you're doing comps, sometimes, you go to an appraisal, say within a mile.
Yeah.
But you have to know your city and you have to know the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because if we went out a mile out from this house to try and comp it, we did in other neighborhoods which are totally different.
Completely.
And not relevant.
Right.
So we had to look very much just within a few blocks of the house.
Yeah.
But at that price, at $30,000, that was super attractive, and we knew we could still turn around and sell it quickly, and make a profit.
Exactly, yeah. And that brings the story of when you say we had problems with homeless in the neighborhood, I don't know if you remember, homeless slept in our house.
Constantly. We were
Yeah.
constantly kicking them out and calling the police.
Exactly, just to get in there to start doing work. And so once the house was completely demoed, it wasn't comfortable anymore for them to sleep in there. So we didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, absolutely. And again, we're going back several years. The neighborhood, even today, is significantly better than back when we
absolutely. Yeah, just in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That house has probably doubled in price since we sold it.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just
probably should have kept it as a rental.
Oh my
for
gosh.
3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
and
no
made
kidding.
A killing.
Yes.
So there's another tip. You got to know where you're at in your market cycle.
Yep.
And we were still pretty early in it, and we knew there'd be a lot of appreciation.
Yeah.
But yeah, holy cow, that would have been a much better buy and hold.
Way better.
Yeah.
We would have, our mortgage would have been like nothing.
Like nothing. Like $8 a month.
Yeah.
For mortgage.
Yeah. Like cash flow would have been insane.
Yeah, and rent on that probably would have been a good $800 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our mortgage payment probably would have been $100.
Right,
Like
exactly.
So yeah. Again, hindsight.
Yeah.
But if you're a flipper and you want to flip because you need the cash now, that's one consideration. If you're a buy and hold person, then it's a different analysis.
Yeah.
But you should be open.
Yeah.
To what the best use of that property is.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. And just to give the people, the listeners, an idea, this at the time was a neighborhood that was around 90 to 120,000, like fixed up, lived in.
Yeah, lived in about 120,000.
Yeah. There were some as low as 90. They were rough around the edges, but they were being occupied.
Right.
And then 120 were like nice, drop dead gorgeous homes in this area. So at 60,000, there was about $60,000 of room. But then knowing you had to remediate for meth. 50 would have been more attractive, but he got it at 30. So,
anyways,
yeah.
And the key takeaway from the acquisition was, use your inspection period.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad because we do kind of get in the mindset of always buying as is and not worrying about it because we kind of understand all that.
Yeah.
But if you do get a chance to get in there and inspect things, whether it's meth or other issues, use that as leverage to negotiate better prices if you find something about the property that's going to cost you extra.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so definitely use your inspection period.
Absolutely, that's so important too because in this situation, it was a little bit risky. That's a riskier neighborhood. It wasn't
the neighborhood.
Because of the
not
neighborhood.
The price, but
the
neighborhood.
Exactly. So a lower price. By being able to negotiate a lower price helps alleviate our risk that we're about to dump into all this money into this home.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So how did we finance the deal?
Oh, I think I made one phone call. Yeah, $30,000, you can get anybody to lend you money.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used hard money.
Yep.
We used hard money, and I don't remember what our points initial was, probably 2 and 12, the standard hard money loan, but $30,000, our hard money costs were so negligible that I honestly don't even remember them.
Yeah, we could have cash flowed on hard money.
Yeah, I probably could have paid cash.
Yeah.
But use other people's money.
Exactly. OPM. Yep.
OPM.
Yep. So we purchased the property using a hard money lender, and then to finance the renovations, I'll let you share.
We used my cash.
Yep.
Yeah, so I put up the money for the renovations.
Yep.
Yeah, and
perfect.
Easy.
Super easy. So got this sucker done, and what would you say as far as the acquisition, the biggest lesson that was learned?
Yeah, I'd say again, just using the your inspection periods as leverage to negotiate a lower price.
Yeah, and to do your due diligence, like you said, so common that we just get relaxed at it out. It's as is. We know we're going to fix everything, but you know,
an extra $5,000.
Yeah,
even if just that can make a big difference. If you have that extra $5,000 cost.
Yep.
If you start adding on those extra costs that surprise you in the rehab, there go your profits.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right. So now we're talking about
remodel, which you were mostly in charge of.
Exactly. Yep. So, what was the most costly improvement and why? Well, I would have to say, usually it's the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably, this house was actually in great shape. The roof was good.
The exterior was fine.
Exterior was fine. It was pretty much
foundation.
Yeah, there was a couple foundation cracks that we were able to remedy. We got a structural engineer over there. It was a back section of the house that was built on rocks. The other part of it was built on cement.
Foundation. The other, they just threw rocks underneath the house.
Yes, yes. So we hired a structural engineer. He came out and put together a plan, at which point we were able to put a cement foundation under that section. But because it was so small, believe it or not, the kitchen still ended up costing more than putting the cement under.
Yeah, and that's a good lesson. You know, foundations scare people.
Yes.
Cracks, holes, crumbling. It scares homeowners too.
Yeah.
But in general, foundations are not that big a deal.
Yeah.
They can be catastrophic if something's really, really bad. But for most, they're really not that bad a remediation.
Right.
But again, it's good leverage. If you find something in the foundation, use that to get a lower price.
Yeah.
Knowing that the cost to remediate that's not going to be that big.
Exactly.
It's scarier than it is costly.
Yep. And for us, unfortunately, we didn't notice that until after we owned it. So we didn't, because we weren't able to do a full-blown home inspection.
Yeah, we could not do a full-blown home inspection.
Because we didn't have access to the property.
The meth heads in there.
Yes, because we actually had to evict them. We kind of forgot to share.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, a whole
another show on evictions.
Exactly. So once they were evicted and we took possession of the property, that was then when we learned that we had some challenges in that back section of the foundation. But again, it wasn't that expensive.
No, we did have to bring out a structural engineer, someone qualified to take a look at it.
Yep, drop plans
to kind of make the small little fix.
Exactly.
So it delayed some time, but from a cost perspective, not a big deal.
Yeah, and because this part of the house was so small, we didn't even need to get big trucks to dig. It was just our contractors were able to dig with a shovel, and so it was the cost of labor and cement, really.
Yeah.
And a structural engineer. So not that bad. I would say though, in general, the kitchens tend to be the most costly part for me.
For most rehabs. Yeah.
Exactly, in my experience. So I would, and even in this house, the biggest hurdle though, and surprise that we did resolve, was the foundation.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest hurdle and surprise? It definitely was that foundation. Again, we did not have the luxury to find it before.
Yeah. I would say don't let foundation issues scare you.
Yeah.
Just get educated on them, knowledgeable, call in an engineer, have an engineer in your back pocket.
Yep.
Have them come out, take a look at it. If it does something that that worries you, just have them come take a look at it, and they can give you a good idea very quickly.
Exactly, and especially if you can do that in your due diligence, because if it is bad, then you don't buy it.
Exactly.
All right. Did we do something special, and why? Well, there was something that we did kind of special, not on purpose, but our AC unit got stolen.
Yeah.
So we had to put a second one.
Yeah, but we added AC.
Yeah.
And that's often a consideration among investors. And it's going to depend on the area you live in and the climate, and whether you're not putting swamp coolers versus AC, whether or not you've got the central ductwork for AC, etc. We had the ductwork because we had forced air furnace. Yep. But there's no AC.
Correct.
And we opted for AC. Which in that neighborhood is probably a big upgrade.
Oh yeah.
We actually drove around. Most homes in that area were still using swamp coolers. Here in Utah we have very dry air, so a lot of the lower end homes will have swamp coolers, not AC units. But we added AC units, and I think that was a good thing. You can tell the story about getting stolen.
Yeah.
But on the sale, I think that made a big difference.
I agree. So yeah, that was definitely something special, adding central AC to that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And now I would say
that put us, AC is not that expensive.
Exactly.
It's a couple of grand.
Yep.
But in that neighborhood, it set us apart from all the other homes, and we were now special and better.
Yeah, exactly.
Than what the other things on the market.
Exactly. Yep. And then, what was the biggest lesson that we learned during the renovation?
Oh. Board up the windows to keep the homeless out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that lesson was dealing with vagrants.
Yeah. We ended
Yeah.
up getting an alarm system put in.
We had an alarm system put in. There was a doggy door. If the homeless were sneaking in the doggy door to sleep inside, we boarded that up.
Yep.
We changed the locks. We had to call the cops.
Numerous times.
Yeah, it probably would have been beneficial at the very outset.
Yeah.
What we did do is just get some plywood, board up the windows, and kind of board everything to prevent vagrants and the homeless from sneaking into a vacant home.
Yeah.
I think that we probably should have done that. We could have saved ourselves some headaches and calling the cops. So the alarm would go off. And, I think preventing it would be smarter than dealing with it, people coming in.
Exactly. And I would say one of the lessons that I learned is that house taught me to never install the AC condenser out in the backyard until after I'm under contract.
Yes.
So I've never
It
had
is a very easy thing to steal.
Yes.
It's just attached with a couple of hoses, and that's it.
Exactly.
If you've got a couple of guys, you can detach the hoses and carry it off.
Yep. Originally, my AC guys would do everything in one day and,
bring it, install it.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't come back because it was done. Now I ask them to do everything but that, and then they come back once we're under contract and ready to close.
And actually install it.
Exactly. Yep.
Smart tip.
So that was probably the biggest lesson I learned during the renovation. All right, the results. Basically, what was the market like at the time of the sale, and how did that factor in?
The market was super strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. We knew we would sell the house, and we did quite quickly, within days.
Yes.
So we were in a strong upswing market where home prices were increasing. There was appreciation, and so we knew that prices would get higher even during the remodel process. We knew prices were still going up.
Yeah.
Which keeps you from sweating.
Yes.
If you're in a flat market or worse, a market where prices may come down or you're starting to not get competitive bids.
Yeah.
In those situations, you want to price low to get it done quickly.
Yeah.
We listed for I think what we thought the top dollar would be.
We were the most expensive house on the market.
We were the most expensive house.
Yeah.
We were the nicest house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we did have justification for it.
Right.
And we had some justifications in very close neighborhoods that were already above those price levels.
Yeah.
Just a couple of blocks away. They were very different neighborhoods, but they were very close.
Yeah.
And it was coming down through, justification was coming through that area.
Yep.
So we listed it at top dollar and got an offer right away.
Full price.
Yeah, in fact, your wife was the listing agent on that.
She was.
So we kept it in-house.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about real estate investors and getting real estate agent licenses.
Yeah.
On the disposition side and how that kind of plays in.
So I actually originally started investing without a license. My wife wasn't licensed, I wasn't licensed, and I thought, we'll just get we'll just hire a realtor whenever we do the stuff. But it allowed me not to have to worry about disclosing my agency because I wasn't an agent, right? And I could go and negotiate and not have to follow rules of the board or anything like that. Board of Realtors or Division of Real Estate.
Which a lot of investors take. They don't want to deal with the regulations and the rules of the divisions.
Exactly. But after speaking with a friend of mine who is now my broker, he was a mentor, he suggested that I do get it because it is an extra paycheck. Mm-hmm. You are keeping that 3% instead of paying it out and just increase your profit. And a lot of other reasons that will go, it's a whole nother video. But
but on the disposition of a flip property, you can list yourself.
Yep.
So you're only paying out at most the 3% to the buyer's agent,
exactly,
as opposed to a 6%, give or take, with a listing agent and a buyer's agent.
Exactly.
So it can save you a lot on the back end.
Absolutely. Now, if you don't want to be an agent, or let's just face it, not everybody's good at everything.
Yeah.
And if being a listing agent is something that you're strong at, then hire a good one. In this particular case, though, I wanted to learn the trade and. I got efficient at it, and my wife as well, and so I enjoy being the listing agent and having that control over it.
And I had my real estate agent license for the majority of the time that I was doing flips and stuff, and I think it's beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the random friend comes along and says, "Hey, will you sell my house?" You're like, "Yay, more money!"
Exactly.
Right, multiple sources of income.
Yep.
Revenue streams. It's very important.
I agree. Awesome. Okay, so how did we market the property once we were top dollars? What did we do?
We did stage.
Yes. Yes.
And I think you kind of handled the staging. So
I did.
The color choice. What color choices did we use in the house on the remodel?
Yeah, so
We went with the
gray.
grays.
Yep. The light grays and the whites. That was kind of the beginning of the trend of that modern look
Which
that
is
everybody
still
loves.
kind of in place right now.
I
A few
agree.
years later, they're still using the white marble countertops and
Yep.
the gray paints and the white trim.
Yep.
More contemporary kind of feel.
Exactly.
But it's something I want to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Those things change.
They do change. This, like clothes fashion, house fashion changes as well.
That's right. And what buyers are wanting and expecting changes.
Yep.
As far as layout, number of beds and baths, etc. So
Exactly.
you need to keep on top of, work with a good real estate agent who really understands your market
Yeah.
and what buyers are looking for, and always do your flip geared towards your buyers, not what you want, not what your wife wants, not what you think looks great, to what your buyers are going to want.
Absolutely. And just a side tip from my personal observation, I've noticed, because there's a lot of modern change that's happening in the golds and browns, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a newer modern look, but I'm seeing those properties stay on the market longer than the grays and the chrome.
So the contemporary colors are still selling today.
Yes.
In 2020.
So even though a new trend is coming in, it doesn't mean the masses like it. You know, bell bottoms can come back, but it doesn't mean everyone will like it, right? So you want to cater to what the masses like.
Yeah, not what's trendy, but what the masses want.
Exactly, because who wants to hold?
Yeah, and do you think staging was worth it?
I do
Yeah.
because of the neighborhood for sure, right? It allowed the people to come in, feel like this home was home, and the staging furniture looked great, so it made the property look great as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a rule of thumb is you want to stage the home with at least furniture that is one class nicer than that house.
Yes.
So you're buying
It makes the house look nicer.
It makes the house look nicer.
And more
exactly.
expensive.
Yep, and more expensive. Absolutely.
Yeah. And better furniture than the people who are buying it are going to put in it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You want them to see the vision
Yes.
of how great the place can actually be.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't take it there.
Yep. So if you can do the most expensive furniture, that's great. But if you have a budget, you want to, know what your market is, what you're going to be staging, and hypothetically purchase furniture that's one class higher than what that neighborhood would have as
Perfect.
furniture.
Great tip.
Yep. Awesome.
Write that down.
All right. So our marketing strategy basically was we staged it. We saturated the internet. This was more something that
Didn't list on the multiple listing service.
Yep, multiple listing service, and we were under contract in 4 days.
In 4 days.
Yeah, multiple offers, full price. There were some that were not full price. There was still kind of this market where we were going up, but it wasn't super competitive. But it was competitive. It was the beginning.
Who was
of
our
that.
buyer?
It was a single gal.
Single gal, yeah.
Yep.
Which I kind of found a little surprising.
Yeah.
Because of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But again, the neighborhood was turning over.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it was improving. It was headed in the right direction. Everybody, and it still is. I mean,
Yes.
So I think, but I think she was attracted to how attractive the house looked.
Yeah, I agree.
And she was willing, and we had the alarm system.
Yep.
So I think that neighborhood, with the niceness of the house and the alarm system, made a single female comfortable to buy that house.
Yep, absolutely. And she's loving it now if she still lives there because her equity position is phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's doubled her money.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that makes me feel good too.
It does.
That you've created this product.
Yeah.
This that someone's going to live in and enjoy and benefit from for a long time.
Yeah.
That's the joys of real estate.
I absolutely
That's
agree.
why we're in the business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about the profit.
Exactly.
If you're only thinking about numbers and dollars, you're probably not going to last long.
I agree.
If you're creating experiences and products and things, whether it's a flip or a rental where people want to come and rent from you,
Yep.
or whatever it is you do in real estate, if you're providing these great products,
Yeah.
and going beyond what the basic, because I can go to any flip project on the MLS that's being sold retail now and go, good rehabber, terrible rehabber.
Right.
Good rehabber, terrible rehabber. Because I can tell from the quality of work.
Yeah.
And so can buyers and their agents.
Absolutely. Yep. Very cool. Okay, so then basically, what were the numbers in our profit after everything was said and done?
Oh my gosh, I'll let you take that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we ended up
Purchased it for $30.
purchased it for 30. Yep.
Anyway, our hard money costs were probably like $5,000.
I think
I
so.
don't remember. But
So minimal.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It was my own cash for the rehab, so I just
Yeah.
recouped my money.
Yeah.
Because I got to share the profit.
Exactly. and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were about 30 to 31,000 in renovations. Because we did all all the new. We put, everything was new. That house was brand new inside.
Yeah, it was brand new. It was sparkly clean.
Yeah,
and new.
And so then we turn around and sell it for 120. So basically minusing, paying the agent who brought us the buyer, and we paid some of the buyer's closing costs. And then, of course, you and I split the rest, and Ken got his 10.
Yeah.
And then you and I split the rest.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah, and we'll have the numbers in a little slide for you.
Yeah.
And all of our deals, you'll see just some basic numbers of what they bought it for, what their hard money costs were, their acquisition costs, their rehab costs, and sort of all other, which would include closing costs, real estate commissions, maybe utilities, maybe some insurance, these kind of little things that get thrown in. But you'll be surprised at how big those little things actually become.
Yeah.
You always think about your hard money costs, you think about your rehab costs.
That's true.
You think about the purchase price, your ARV, but you don't have to think that the insurance and the utilities and the closing costs and the title insurance policy, all these little things do add up.
Yeah.
So make sure you take a look at those slides that we put in there and kind of compare these across all these deals, because that'll give you a good idea of how much all those little things actually become.
Seriously. It's incredible how many times my contractors will go to Home Depot and the bill's less than $200. I do a pay by phone. They go and purchase the material. Home Depot gives me a call. I pay over a credit card, and your total sure is $180. I'm like, that's nothing. But by the end of the project, it's like, whoa, all that went to Home Depot?
When you're buying something to work on, you're paying $200,000, say, for a house.
Yeah.
Right? That number's so big.
Yes.
In most people's world, you don't buy things. You don't go out every day and buy a $200,000 thing.
Right.
And so you see that $200,000 big cost, and then you start writing checks for 50, 10, 75. All these.
So
you don't think about them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's $200,000. I don't care about the $75.
Exactly.
Those add up.
Yeah, real quick.
Quickly.
Yeah.
And that's where most investors, newer investors, spin their costs out of control.
Yep. And run out of money and
run out of money
sell it.
and soak up their profit margin. And it's all those little things that that they don't take into account, and the surprises in their rehab.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. So, what was the biggest lesson that we learned from selling this property?
I would say the staging. I like your tip of level up on the staging.
Yep.
Stage it better than the house in the neighborhood.
Yes.
With nicer things than the one. So don't dumb it down.
Yeah.
Level it up.
Yeah.
On your staging to really make it pop to the buyer.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Well,
that was great.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Yoshi.
I appreciate it.
We need to do another one like that.
Absolutely.
That was a very fun one.
It was definitely a fun one, and we definitely do need another one.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
We'll sign off. I'm Jeff with REI Master EU.
And I'm Yoshi Shiraki with Utah Home Sweet Home.
Okay.
Thanks for watching,
guys.